So, if you've been watching Hard Lens Media, especially way early on from the beginning, or if you've been watching Hard Lens Media during the 2020 Democratic primary, you've seen us cover stories about Joe Biden and his, well, functioning brain, air quote, right? And see, the thing is, myself, Jimmy Dore, and so many others, including you, my audience, we've all called out Biden's mental decline. But as it stands right now, from an article from Wall Street Journal, White House aides hid Biden's apparent mental decline. And now everybody is coming out of the woodwork because this has been going on since the early days of his presidency. It could be argued it's been going on even before his presidency, before he ascended, that this has been an ongoing problem with Joe Biden. And the thing is, whenever we brought this up, whenever anyone brought up Joe Biden's mental capacity, his ability to think or move around or be efficient as president, when we said he was exhibiting signs of dementia, Alzheimer's, we were told that we were horrible, that we were giving out fake news. But all lies do become revealed and all lies will be exposed. And listen, I know I love pushing this button, but White House aides hid Biden's apparent mental decline. And every time they were lying, they knew that one day they'd be exposed. Right, Cat Williams?
All lies will be exposed.
Absolutely. So, let's go ahead and talk about this because this has been breaking news right now. I mean, it's not breaking news, but listen, I mean, come on. There's so many examples. You know, when Due Dissidence goes live and they have Joe Biden say American could be described in one word. I mean, that's just one example, but that's being generous there, and that's way too kind. I mean, if we saw Joe Biden's debate against Donald Trump, there are moments where Donald Trump's kind of looking at the camera, looking at the moderators and saying, hey, can you believe that they actually put this guy up here to debate me? But, hey, we're here to give analysis and commentary. Here's our friends at Fox and Friends talking about this story, and it is going to be shared worldwide, and I think everybody in independent media, from Sabby Sabs, RBN, INN, Due Dissidence, Jimmy Dore, all of us, we have all been proven correct again that there was something fundamentally wrong with Joe Biden.
Journal shedding light on how the White House functioned or didn't function with a diminished Biden in charge.
Incredible. Peter Dixon joins us from Washington. Hey, Peter.
And when I got to the White House 4 years ago with President Biden, he was walled off because of COVID. They didn't want him to get sick. But then he stayed walled off. And now the Wall Street Journal has this item with the headline, How the White House Functioned with a Diminished Biden in Charge. And it comes with this quote, if the president was having an off day, meetings could be scrapped altogether. On one such occasion in the spring of 2021, a national security official explained to another aide why a meeting needed to be rescheduled. Quote, he has good days and bad days, and today was a bad day, so we're going to address this tomorrow, the former aide recalled the official saying. The president showed natural signs of aging, but key allies always stuck their necks out to say, no big deal.
Right after.
I mean, come on. This is being exposed. We all know it. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody knew about it. Look, as somebody who's seen his own relatives go through mental decline, the process of aging, as have all of you, Joe Biden exhibited those signs. And I know this is an open wound to talk about, but my goodness, this man was commander-in-chief. He was the president of the most powerful nation on earth at this time. And he was mentally diminished. Now we know how the ancient Romans felt when they had a horrible, piss-poor emperor. Who was running the show? His aides? Well, we have to assume, yes. Was it Jill? Possibly. Kamala? I don't think so. Who was running the show for these past 4 years? My goodness, the ship had no captain. Now, I know this is not related, but I kind of want to bring this up here. You know, when Rush Limbaugh said he wanted to see Obama fail, you know, and everyone was cheering for it. You see, the thing is, I'm going to say this to anyone across the political spectrum, be they Green, Libertarian, Democrat, or Republican. Theoretically, you don't want to see the commander-in-chief fail because, you know, we all want to make sure our leaders are doing their job protecting us. In theory, I'm painting a rosy picture here, folks, out of the crappy real-life situation that we're in. Because when the commander fails, oh my goodness, hey, we all fail. And we were failing for 4 years. And this is somebody that a lot of people stuck their necks out for. Never forget all those people during the 2020 Democratic primary that said, if we don't support Biden, we're going to get 4 years of Trump. Oh, how dare you say Biden's on decline? How dare you say this? We all know who their names are. Everyone in corporate media, the Vote Blue No Matter Who influencer crowd, and yes, of course, all those larger channels that were more than happy to tell us that we got to support Biden, hold his feet to the fire, and we could push him left. TYT, Secular Talk, Majority Report, all of them. Never forget all the people that endorsed Joe Biden, like see, or hey, Bernie Sanders. Oh, I'm going to be pissed off, all right. And all of you should be angry here too, because for 4 years, nobody was in command.
The debate, you insisted that President Biden is extraordinarily strong. Given where we are now, do you have any regrets about what you told the American people?
No, not at all. Not at all.
I talk to President Biden, regularly, usually several times in a week. His mental acuity is great. It's fine. It's as good as it's been over the years.
Well, do you think the president should undergo some sort of cognitive?
Bad Cookie, he says, Kit, are you bitter about this? You seem bitter about this. I feel vindicated, but I'm angry. Because for 4 years, quote unquote, expert people were in control of the narrative, the algorithm, while the rest of us were being silenced. All of you were being silenced. Any criticism was being dismissed and bullied out of existence. And the thing is, this can never happen again, and we cannot forget the people that allowed this to happen. Remember those that were trying to control the narrative. Remember those that were trying to, make themselves seem smarter and holier than thou. Am I bitter? There's a little bit. Am I secretly a little bit overjoyed? Like, finally I'm vindicated. But I'm furious here. I am furious here. I know others might be laughing, but I'm furious. Is this the best the Democrats can do? And the answer is, yeah. And it's downright pathetic. Democrats, I don't know how you'll ever recover from this. It'll be a miracle. I mean, you might have enough voters to help you out, but good luck in the wars to come.
To the extent that we're having this conversation, I don't see any need to do that. But if you're as it relates to Biden.
Things have changed a lot, but no obvious second thoughts.
You prepare to leave the White House. Any other regrets that you have? Anything you wish you would have done differently?
Well, I guess if I thought a lot about it, it'd be something I would have specifically done, but not generically.
God, I don't know. How about not instigating this war in Ukraine? How about, helping out the people of Lahaina and East Palestine, Ohio? How about those people, right? How about actually stepping up and stopping the genocide in Gaza? Oh, wait, no. I mean, I'm trying to think of a couple of things here, folks. Unanswered questions writes this. What everyone seems to be missing is that this shows more than anything else. It doesn't matter who's president. They don't make decisions anyways. It's their handlers and the deep state. Can't argue with you there.
I had a front row seat to a lot of this, and at various times was basically told not to believe what I was seeing or hearing. The president misspoke. The president has a cold. But now the dam appears to be breaking. This Wall Street Journal item interviewed 50 people familiar with Biden's operation. Back to you.
So, Peter, you had the story in August. The Wall Street Journal began to dip their toe in the water on this very topic, and they got blasted. You've gotten blasted when you've questioned the president's acuity. And Kamala Harris offended that people even bring it up. But they talk about interaction between Biden and many of his cabinet members were infrequent, often tightly scripted. At least one cabinet member stopped requesting calls with the president because it was clear that such requests wouldn't be welcome. The cabinet. Peter Doocy can't get an interview. His own cabinet can't get a meeting. Adam Smith, who's chairman of Armed Services, tried to tell the president how bad Afghanistan could turn out. He couldn't get to him. This is cataclysmic.
Yeah, it is. And see, the thing is, so this kind of has me a little frightened. It's like, oh my goodness, how bad things could have gotten and how bad things are who is running the show? Mind you, Biden's last days in office, he's been giving a crap ton of weaponry to Ukraine, still turning a blind eye to what's happening over there in the Middle East. Situation in Syria, situation in Lebanon, Gaza, Iran. Listen, hey, look, meet the new boss, same as the old boss. But hey, look, Trump, listen, speed it up a little bit, okay? And look, I'm not expecting him to save anything or do anything right, but my goodness, there's the cabinet couldn't talk to him. Nobody could talk to him. This is the most Joe Biden prediction here shall and will go down as one of the most epic failure of a president in this country's lifetime. Okay. And I know we've had terrible presidents. We've had great presidents. Joe Biden is going to be in the category of one of the worst presidents we've had. And the people surrounding him and the people that constantly kept on defending him. Never forget who those people are. That is your social responsibility too. Call them out.
And it raises a lot of questions about who was making.
You know what? Homework assignment. Never forget. No, we know the names. If you know the names in the comment section, type them out. Drop the names, because we all know that there were people in corporate media and all across the sphere, in Hollywood, in the influential landscape, saying that Joe Biden was effective and sharp. You couldn't hide this lie, Democrats. You couldn't. Sooner or later it was going to come out. You did this to yourselves.
Making key decisions.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Afghanistan withdrawal. If the president was as diminished as this story makes it sound, that would be a huge problem, and it could explain why certain decisions were made that turned out to be catastrophic and why no apologies were ever made. To your point, Brian, when the cabinet met all 9 times, which is the least in the last several decades that a president has had their whole cabinet together in an entire term, there was a different item a few months ago where cabinet secretaries were being asked to submit their questions for the president behind closed doors in advance, and they were being told to keep it quick because the way that it worked was they would ask a question that was pre-screened, and then the president would have a card with the answer, even in a closed setting. And I hear a lot of the complaints about, and there was a bite in the open, why wasn't there more coverage of the president's age and acuity earlier? Well,
I know he might say something, but I want to get in front of him before he does. There was independent media before the online censorship really got out of control. I mean, for example, one of the times Heartland's media got hit was during January 6th, right? And the thing is, you couldn't really say anything critical about Biden. So many people in independent media got censored. And there was, to be fair, some coverage from corporate media. Corporate media was acknowledging that Biden wasn't all sharp during the 2020 Democratic primary. But of course, remember, the same people who owned the politicians also control the media. They're trying to throw anything at the wall and see what sticks. They had Kamala, they had Pete Buttigieg, they had Bet on My Stork, Beto O'Rourke. You had Amy, Be Ready to Dodge, Klobuchar. So you had all that. But still didn't stick because they didn't want Bernie Sanders. And then they got stuck with Biden. And any story about him in decline, put in the dustbin.
A lot of the stories that you hear.
You kept asking.
I kept asking the whole time. And a lot of the stories that we would hear, that we would try to report out, are secondhand. But it's a lot of stuff like,
Joe gets candy when he poo-poos in the toilet. That's not funny, but it kind of is.
You would hear from somebody on the staff or somebody that works at the White House. It looked like the president was falling asleep somewhere. Okay, hard to confirm that, but we have tape of him falling asleep at events,
Peter,
as recently as his most recent foreign trip.
It was off the record last Friday. There was a holiday party at the White House. You had a brief interaction that has not been reported, and it kind of speaks to how his aides just ripped you essentially out of that room when you two started talking.
It was actually kind of funny. I took my sister Mary as my +1, and when we got up there, I said, "Mr. President, this is my sister Mary." And the first thing he said to her is, my sister tries to control me.
Oh God. Here's the thing. This is elder abuse. This is true elder abuse. And by proxy, with this elder abuse, guess who also got abused? All 300 plus million American citizens did. I mean, I'm surprised Joe Biden didn't say to that guy, "Hey, I'm Joe Biden. Somebody crapped my pants. I'm trying to figure that out. Can you investigate it?" What is this? I mean, my goodness. If Saturday Night Live was even funny, I mean, this is comedic gold. Anybody who's anybody right now in this media sphere right now, I mean, the scripts, the skits, take themselves.
And the first lady and the press secretary who was standing off to the side were trying to keep the line going, and they did. And so it was quick. But a lot of that.
And I think he might have said something like, "I'd like to talk to you later." And then it's like, "Come on, Peter, let's go." And there you went.
Yes. Yeah.
With your sister Mary, who tries to control you too.
It's true. But I made sure that Mary did what I always do at these White House parties. They have like napkins with the presidential seal. So just make sure that as many as you can grab on your way out.
That's the lovely party gift.
All right, great. Lovely parting gift. So White House aides hid apparent mental decline from day one of his presidency. So again, from this article here, because more people are going to be talking about it, White House aides covered up President Biden's apparent mental decline from day one of his presidency, shielding the aging commander-in-chief from the public and even rearranging his schedule after scatterbrained performances and an explosive report revealed on Thursday. So, oh my goodness gracious Cretaceous, like everybody knows. Everybody knows now, and there's no hiding it. Presidential staff formed a tight shell around Biden 82 right after he took office amid the COVID-19 pandemic, with staff immediately limiting his in-person interactions in January of 2021. Hi, I'm Joe Biden. Where am I? By the way, Obama, this is his legacy too. Bernie, this is your legacy. Anyone that went to bat for Joe Biden, this is your legacy, not only in 2020, but in 2024 as well. And I think that debate against him and Trump is evidence enough too. And that was brutal to watch. I think even Trump, a controversial statement here, even felt sympathy for him. And that's not saying much here, folks. But staffers also began making adjustments to his daily plans when the president appeared tired or kept stumbling on the world stage, both figuratively and literally. By spring of 2021, meetings were being rescheduled to accommodate for his good days and bad days. So in other words, we had ourselves a mentally impaired, febile old man. Feeble. I said febile. Haha. Stuttered there. Sorry about that, because that's not a word. Feeble. Weakness. And the thing is, there are current members in Congress right now. Never forget Dianne Feinstein. I mean, my goodness, in her 90s, serving in the Senate. Washington, D.C. has turned into a geriatric elder home. According to the Journal, a national security official told an aide at the time, he has good days and bad days, and today was a bad day, so we're going to address this tomorrow. My goodness. I mean, Biden's wandering all over the place. I mean, look, never forget when the Italian prime minister actually had to help direct Biden back into the group photo shot. I mean, she did that. She did that. I mean, there's examples of that and more. This was our leader. Well, at least this is what the liberal says was our leader. No one was running the show. No one was in charge. No one knew what they were doing. And see, the thing is, I'm vindicated, but I'm furious. Think about the dangers we've all been put in now because of the incompetency, because people suffering from Trump derangement syndrome. And I'm never going to let those that kept on promoting Biden in 2020 and in 2024 to get away with this, and neither should any of you. To those people who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome because you felt like voting for this guy was the best option, well, the truth has been revealed. Biden wasn't all there. All lies will be exposed. For those who suffer from TDS, I love you, but you are not serious people. especially if you go to bat for somebody like Joe Biden. He wasn't all there. All lies have been exposed. Say it again, Prophet Cat Williams. Say it again.
All lies will be exposed.
This isn't open for debate.